All right, so today we're talking about the 3 simple steps to create habit change for easy weight loss. Here's the thing, you're stuck because you keep defaulting to old habits. So this entire training is dedicated to giving you the 3 simple things that you can do to break free of those habits that are keeping you from getting the results that you want. I hear it all the time. Corey, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it. And maybe that's true. If not, there are plenty of other trainings on what you need to do here in the group. But for now, let's assume you do know what you should be doing, but there's a gap in the connection between your mind, your hand, and what goes in your mouth. Here's what it looks like, right? You're sitting there, you're scrolling through Netflix looking for something you haven't watched already. You're bored, you're tired, you had a long day, and you're craving something sweet. So you have a little something to satisfy your sweet tooth. Or you meal prepped. You ate mindfully all week. You worked out, and all of a sudden the weekend rolls around and you tell yourself, I've earned it. A couple of drinks with my friends won't kill me. On the other hand, there's also the stressful week at work, trying to keep everything under control, trying to figure out what's happening with school and if you still need to be wiping down your groceries or not. You've been running around all day and it's getting late and takeout is the odds-on favorite for dinner. If you've ever fallen into one of these categories, you're gonna wanna keep watching this because here's what happens next, right? You see, a sweet tooth, it's all up here. When you consume too much sugar on a regular basis, it creates the desire for more sugar. Now, before you try and tell me that you don't eat too much sugar, that you try and avoid it, keep an open mind here. About 80% of Americans underestimate their consumption of everything in general, but most commonly sugar. So unless you track what you eat to a T, then just trust the science here. Eating too much sugar triggers a hormonal response to crave more sugar. Now, commonly we call that hangry. Same thing. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's generating more cravings. It happens even to the best intention of us. And oftentimes it's because we're tricked by diet foods or names we don't recognize. Things like fructose, lactose, cane syrup, beet sugar, dextrose, honey, maltodextrin, turbinate. The list is endless. So if you're really serious about losing weight and you find yourself craving sugar, you can start by cutting your consumption in half for a solid week. It'll be a challenge at first, but it's the only way to stop the cravings. And don't tell me you need your coffee with your sugar and creamer just to get you through the day, to wake you up a little bit in the morning. Coffee isn't the magic. I mean, it is, it's magic. It's the most delicious drink, I think, ever. But it's your sleep that's the problem if you're having trouble waking up. And we'll address that in another training as well. And don't think I forgot about those couple of drinks. First and foremost, it's okay to enjoy a glass of wine or a cocktail. Trust me, I do regularly. It's okay. But understand this, when alcohol is present, that's all your body is going to focus on. Getting rid of this toxin, because that's exactly what it is. But that's not the real issue here, is it? If we're being honest with ourselves, those couple of drinks turn into more and more and more. Oh, have one more, have one more, have one more. Those are empty, useless calories. All they do is lower your inhibitions, and now those drinks are paired with that pizza or that guac that blows your diet even more. I'm not here to be the fun police, but if you think about it, do you really need to go so hard? Enjoy yourself, but set a limit and stick to it. Have fun, but stay in control. It's okay, you'll be fine. And of course, the infamous stressful week, because that's probably the number one that we're all experiencing right now. It's probably leading to those couple of drinks and to those sugar cravings. Remember the last time you didn't have a stressful week? Probably not. So unless we make some changes here, how do you ever expect to get the results that you want? It's gonna be tough. Now, you won't hear me say that I can make stress disappear. That's nearly impossible. What we can do is change how you perceive and react to it. the decisions you make as a result of that stress. First thing you have to do is come to terms with the fact that stress is real. There are positive uses for stress, things like resistance training, that's putting a form of stress on the body that's beneficial in the long term. But when we let it control us, the list of negatives is a mile long. Can't think of a good reason why we would let this continue, right? So, I'll put it to you like this. If you were paddling along in a boat and you noticed a leak, you would plug it, wouldn't you? So then why would you just keep letting the stress happen to you? And oh, by the way, there are plenty of takeout options that won't blow your diet too. So now that we're all clear on the problems here, let's talk about the solutions. The 3 simple steps to changing your habits to improve your weight loss. Just wait until you hear number 3. You won't believe how easy it is. They're all simple, but I want you to be able to actually put these into use. That's the goal here, for you to become your own champion, your own hero, to take control and have the results that you want. So what's number 1? Become aware. Simple, right? Nothing too crazy. Become aware. If things are going well, autopilot might work for you. Great. But if you're still watching, you're here because you're looking to make change. So you need to get off autopilot and get in control of your thoughts and your actions. What triggers you to make these choices? Because that's what they are. Choices. But they're choices that are moving you away from your goals. So become aware of how much you eat, how often and why. Become aware of how much you should be eating, how often and why. Become aware of triggers. What happens before you make the decision you know you need to change? Become aware of people. Some people in your life might not be on the same path as you. That's okay. It's no fault of theirs. But they may try to push you into making decisions that align with their goals, and those decisions don't move you forward. And become aware of your feelings. Do you feel better for having decided to give in to those urges? Was it worth it? How do you feel later? How do you feel the next day? And again, was it worth it? Become aware of these things. That's the first step. Now, step number 2, we get to making some actions. And how do we do that? We start small. Again, not earth-shattering, but something that you need to hear. You know what? We'll give them one of those. Starting small. Habits are hard to break. I am not here to sugarcoat it for you. See what I did there? It takes time and it takes effort. Now, that being said, if you're happy with your body, feel super confident, move often and move well, then by all means, keep doing what you're doing. But like I said before, if you're still watching, put the defenses down, put the excuses down, and listen up. Start by picking your biggest area of opportunity. Where you're most likely to succeed, that's where you want to start. Wins make you feel amazing, don't they? They also help to combat the stress a good bit, which is an awesome side effect. And they also open up the universe to bring you more wins. And this isn't some cosmic mythical nonsense. This is just a simple fact of life. Wins create wins create wins. So you need to get small wins every single day. So how do you do that? Cut your sugar in half for a week or 2 till you get used to it. Then cut it again. All of a sudden, you're consuming 25% of the sugar that you were originally, and the cravings are gone. And guess what? So is the weight. Or eat a healthy, fulfilling meal before going out for drinks. Every time. Means there's less room for booze. If you're a little bit full when you get there, you're less likely to overconsume liquid. You're less likely to overindulge in pizza later on. Maybe even, and this is a crazy one, but I'm going to throw it out there, instead of one more, try one less. I'd be willing to bet you'll still have fun. As for ordering out, add veggies and protein to your takeout order. Eat those first. They're going to fill you up. They're going to nourish you. They're going to leave less room for the stuff that doesn't align with your goals. What you're doing is replacing a habit that moves you further away from your goals with a habit that moves you closer to your goals. It's not about giving up the habit. It's about turning lemons into lemonade, making the habit work for you. If you're going to do it, make it work for you. So, what do we have so far? We've got become aware and we've got start small. Seems pretty simple, right? Stuff that you can do. I'm not making you make huge, massive changes in your life. I'm not asking you to do something like stand on your head or walk 1,000 miles on the treadmill. It doesn't have to be that complicated. And that's why number 3 is so important. And that's why I wanted you to stick around with me until this point. I'm gonna just write it down so you can see it for yourself. Do it daily. Your life is not going to change until you change it. So for the foreseeable future, you know exactly what you're up against. The good news is it actually makes it easier to plan to have success than you probably think. So plan for success. You know there's chaos. You know there's kids. You know there's spouse. You know there's work. You know there's uncertainty. You know that's not changing. So you can actually plan around it because that chaos, even though it feels like chaos, is actually somewhat organized. You know where it's coming from. So plan around it. Look at labels and stop buying sugary stuff if that's your bad habit. Track your consumption. Look at the menu and pick something new. What it comes down to is you need to accept new responsibilities and new things that you have to do to be able to feel the way you want to feel, to be able to look the way that you want to look. And then do those small things every single day. Now, we talk about setting goals a lot. This is an important part of the do this every day process. You need to have something that's time bound. So you could set the goal, you could track your progress, and you could look forward to the completion of creating this new, more beneficial habit. How long is that? 21 days. It's simple. 21 days. Nothing crazy, but put it on your calendar. Track your progress. If you slip up, dust yourself off and get back to it. Do it for 21 days, and then it is a new, healthier, helpful habit. It's yours now, forever. And guess what? The weight is gone, forever. And on top of that, now you have these skills and the knowledge to know exactly what you need to do forever. No one can take this from you. So what do you do at that point? You pick something new. What's the next habit that you'd like to change? Get started, become aware, start small, do it every day, rinse and repeat. That's it. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It's not some miraculous bit of science. It's not some crazy new methodology out there. It's 3 simple steps that will give you the power to change your habits into something that no longer moves you further away from your goals, but instead take those same habits and make them habits that help you to achieve your goals. You don't need anyone else to do this. You just need to go ahead and make the decision yourself. So please, become aware, start small, do it daily. I want to know how this helps you, if it's helped you in the past. If you're going to start by making these changes, drop it in the comments, shoot me a DM, let me know what you're working on, and let me support you along the way. Love you so much. I'll see you in the next one.